And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Forest Village. Coming up to the sort of end point for this series, and yeah, we are quickly coming up to it. We now have housing, all of these houses finished up, and look at the babies that we got expecting over here. It's pretty hefty. So if you do the math on our population, 1577 plus 230 plus 133, you're getting really close to that magical 2,000 population. In fact, 1577 plus this, 15, that's 16, that's 17, 10, 19, so we are at 1940 population at the moment. And we have a lot of babies being expected in all the houses. So lots and lots and lots of kids that need to be born. Roughly about 50 babies need to be born for us to hit that magical number. And I'm building a school over here and a bathhouse, just, you know, to give somebody, all these people something to do over here. And you know, all the kids that are going to be born over here also need a place to go to school. That isn't too far away, because the other schools are way over here. It's a long way to walk. So I want to make sure they have a close place to go to school. Just in case you want to download the map and play with it yourself. So yeah, this is getting close. I'm going to try to capture the magical moment on camera. We just don't know how fast these kids are going to be born. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of zoom in here, and I'm going to speed this up. I haven't played on 2x in a little bit. I want to bump it up higher. I would like to, but I don't know if the game can handle that. Once this school is done, I'm going to upgrade it, and then maybe we'll save and boost up the speed to see if we can get there, because we're in early spring right now. Very, very cold winter, very long winter. We're already into early spring, and it's still only 24 degrees. So yeah, very cold, long, harsh winter that hopefully we'll be busting out of soon here, because it's nighttime, and if memory serves, sunrise should bring us into spring. So we should be coming into it soon, but of course it's a little harsher. Okay, we're gonna upgrade you right away. And that kind of gets everybody involved to deliver all the goodies. The bathhouse really doesn't need anything. I know there's a mod that makes the bathhouse like something like a destination, where you have like a worker that works here to do whatever. I don't know what they would do, but obviously maybe stoke the fire underneath. This looks a little bit dangerous. Looks like a little toasty down there. Oh, and we don't want anybody dying of old age. That just makes it take longer to get to where we are. Oh, look at all the delivery. Nice. So hopefully we should have all the material. Pretty much guaranteed to have all the material. I don't know where they are dropping it off of. It looks like they're dropping it off inside. Yeah, this is, to upgrade this thing is pretty expensive. I wonder if there is, yeah, all these Z's, these are all the gardeners. All my orchard attendees, because I have the orchards paused because we have so much fruit. And we're down to 15,000. We were way over that. And amazingly, we actually have milk stored up over here. I've had to buy milk a couple times, as well as eggs, just to keep just to keep our bakeries humming along. And we have more pies. I mean, look at the 8,800 veggie pies over here. 6,000 fruit. Another 7,800 fruit. 7,200. Yeah, we have enough pies to feed our entire population for probably a whole season. I just need to make sure that the pies, you know, these buildings here are being supplied. Otherwise, we might run into problems. And I did add a delivery. Where is it? Yeah, right here. We have tools and warm clothing coming in for these nice people that are living in down here. So I just wanted to make sure they had some tools. Maybe boost up their productivity a bit. That should help quite a bit. And yeah, we've gone through quite a lot of material just building this up. And of course, we've got a lot of meat down here because I derped, and you know, I delivered the meat from this stop here down to this barn here. Okay. Then I have this caravaner already set to take all the meat from here and deliver it down to here. Well, when I set up the first leg of this journey, the destination here, I set up to 1 to 5. And so they started delivering it. Well, I derped and didn't realize that, well, as soon as they drop something in here, well, this caravan is going to come pick it up and deliver it further. So it drained, literally drained all the meat out of this guy. So yeah, we accumulated quite a lot of meat down here, which is, I mean, it's not the end of the world. We just have ample ingredients for meat pies, which is okay. All right, this is good to go, and they are building. Oh yeah, I like high builders. So as we wrap up here, I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on my population there. So 239 plus 151, that is 390. And then 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we are close. We are really close here. Let's actually do this math. 1579 plus 237 plus 151. Oh yeah, 1967. Beautiful. So yeah, we need a few more babies being born. Hopefully, yeah, they are. Oh, they're ready for it. Yeah, we got a lot of expectant mothers in our village right now. And I could just put icing on the cake and put some more housing down here, since we have the materials. And I want a couple more teachers. Now, there's probably not going to be any kids down here. Oh, yeah, there is. We have a taker. I don't know if you need 2 teachers here, but I think it just makes them more efficient. So, you know, the teacher kind of has to be in the building for it to be effective. And without that, it just takes a while, a little while longer to teach all the kids. All right, so all of our millers are going. How are these getting distributed here? See, those are all laborers. See, in my humble opinion, if I were the developers, I would take and be able to swap any laborer with a job that's close. So all these millers that are here, we got 3 millers in each one of these. They should be living in these houses, like right in here. Okay. I remember when I built this, I don't know, maybe the game has reshuffled. But I remember when I built this, it literally put a fisherman in this house back here. And you couldn't get further away from the fishing area over here. I mean, you physically can't get far enough further away than that. So I don't know how the game decides who goes where, but that little thing is really broken. Yeah, it's it needs to be optimized. We need to be better at that. Okay, how are you for? Yeah, see, you don't have. You're putting all your charcoal way over here. Kind of wanted that over here. I'm not sure what to do. I kind of want to take this out, but I know there's a lot of trading. See the caravan just go in there? What is he moving? See, he's shuffling flour from this one just to make sure this one doesn't overfill with flour. He's shuffling flour probably over to here. Or over to here. Over to one of these. Maybe here. Yeah, probably here. Yeah, see, there's 10,000 flour right there. That's a lot of flour. So one thing we could do, if we wanted to, if we were short on flour, which we are not really short on flour, because these mills are all humming along now. Not sure how I want to tackle that. Because I could set it to make that flour trade with this flour, and they would just go back and forth. But that is a long trip. So I could basically have from here trading flour. They would have to come down here, you know, travel across here all the way through to here to deliver flour. And I think that's too far. It's for a caravaner. I really do. I could do like a stepwise, have them deliver to here, and then have another one, you know, finish the journey all the way out here. But yeah, I've had, you know, in test world, I've had a game where I had a long caravan trip, and the caravanners were dying either of starvation or hypothermia because the trip was so long that, you know, on the way they would get hungry, they would drop off the thing, and then all the way back they would starve to death. Oh, see, now we're getting some random people dying. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, let's try. Let's try to speed this up a little bit more. Oh, there's a wolf over here. I don't like that. There's a wolf right out. Where did he come from? Wow. He is a long way from any sort of... Okay, do we have a teacher in here that I can... You, sir. You are a majestic hunter. There you go. He has a bright future. All right. He is going somewhere. So that tells me I need a sort of defensive situation over here. Is there room for a well? I don't think there is. This building is pretty hefty. So I'm thinking a defensive tower lined up, one back because of building. You know, it is this small, but if you built it right up to the road like that, I've had them not be able to build a road underneath it because it does stick out over the side. Okay, so I'm gonna want a well. Let's make this look good. A well and a pyre. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then a decoration We need more statues. That's what we need. So we have like water, life-giving water, and then fire. Like life and death with a statue in the middle. Kind of like that motif. But, you know, it should give a little character to this part of town. If I'm gonna space this out anyway, might as well do something with it. I could do the same over here. In fact, the forest is sort of creeping in here, and we're gonna start getting some. Oh, look at this! They're cutting right in here. I'd like being able to see that. So we're gonna join those two. We're gonna build another house, just for funsies. No, not a small house. Right in here. Let's line this up like that. And then do the same sort of design that we did on the other side. So we have a tower lined up with this side, and we go one back on each side of that, and that should be good. You want a little space in there because it gets a little wonky. Okay, so I'm gonna have a well, and then a statue. And I didn't realize, oh, not a scarecrow, statue. I didn't realize the well was 4x4. I thought it was 3, or the statue was 4x4. I honestly thought it was 3x3. Oh, there it is, the king. Achievement unlocked. We must have just hit 2,000 people. So I think we did. So let's check that really quick, because I can't do that math in my head that fast. 1620 plus 224 plus 156. Indeed, exactly 2,000 people. Beautiful. We hit it. We hit the mark. And that is glorious. I'm not sure if there is a way to see all the achievements from within the game. I don't think there's a way to see that, unfortunately. But yeah, the king, we just got the achievement for 2,000 population. That happened pretty fast. Let's slow it down again. The game is starting to really lag a bit here. And we've also got, oh, we got this guy protecting this area. This guy might come out to about here, so we might need another tower right there. But, you know, that could be something, you know, if you've been following along, that could be something that you do on your side of things. Not a problem. I think I'm going to unpause one of these. Just because. So yeah, that is 2,000 people in my little village. We started in this little corner right over here. This is where our village first began. And from there we spread out all over. We've got our little castle up here. He is about halfway done with the last tools production 3, which I don't really need, but I thought, you know what? Might as well research it. So our castle is long been finished. All, well, you can't really see anything. The forest is so dense back there. Can't see. The towers are all maxed out. I could max out all the walls, but again, it's just, that would just take time. And you know, yeah, I think that Now that I know the shift click little trick, I'd be able to build those much faster. You are making grass. How about you make some oats after you finish that? You are good to go on your veggies. Good times. Good times are rolling here. At least we've got veggies again. But yeah, we have a really prosperous city right now. Very prosperous. We have pies like you would not believe. I mean, I don't even know what our totals are. Look at that. That barn alone has 11,000 vegetable pies. This one has almost 5,000. This one has 7,200 fruit pies. This one has 9,700 fruit pies, and this one has 8,800 fruit pies. So just in this area alone, it's almost 40,000 food in this little area alone, which is insane. Maybe 30,000. 9,997. Yeah, 5. Okay, yeah. So 35,000 fruit pies just in this little section, which I could then distribute around my city. So let's cover some lessons learned, and maybe, if you want to start a game on your own, you could implement some of these. So one thing is centralizing early on some of the resources like firewood and charcoal. I think that would go a long ways in, getting your village a little better off, because if you centralize it, all of your production of charcoal is in one place, and then you can distribute it around your city in various ways. So I was really hesitant to pick up or do a lot of caravanning, but when I got used to it, especially with the mod, especially when I learned that mod really, really well, caravanning around is pretty trivial, and I think that it's a good idea. Centralize. Okay, so centralize your charcoal and firewood. Centralize your tools. Centralize your clothing. Those are tools and clothing, especially, are things that you want some supply of, but you don't need thousands and thousands of. Okay. So you can have 20 steel tools in a barn, and, people will grab one when they need one, but they last long enough where you don't really need to worry about it. So you just get a steel tool, warm clothing the same, once you get to that point. So those are the 3 big ones that you want to centralize. The other things you want to figure out is moving excess materials. So, let's see if I can find, I have 25,000 wool. 25,000 wool. That is an insane amount of wool. Half of that is sitting in this barn right here. So, you don't need a whole lot of sheep in order to generate enough wool to last you a long, long time. Same with hides. I have 22,000 hide. And that is just with some pastures and just passive killing of mobs. The animals running around by my watchtowers. So just passive alone filled me up with hide. So you don't need a lot of hunters after the early game. Once you get settled and kind of organized, you really don't need a whole lot of support. So yeah, you want trade off your hunters for pastures, and you'll be fine on hide and meat and all that kind of stuff. So those are the big ones that I learned along this. The other one is watch your deaths. because you can easily run into a catastrophic collapse of your population. So, you know, especially in the winter. In the winter, constantly be looking at your housing developments. Depending on how you build, you know, if you build big housing developments like this, or if you're more organic, make sure that they have food and they have fuel for warmth. Because you get a couple people die, and if you don't have the pyres to cover them, you will immediately have like a plague outbreak. And that will be horribly bad, because it spreads like crazy. But yeah, there are a few other lessons that, you know, you could kind of take away from yourself, and depending on the mods that you have loaded, all that stuff, I highly suggest you know, get a game like this, find where your fun is, and the whole name of the channel is to get as much fun and enjoyment out of your games as possible. And modding is very good at that. And I've covered the mods I have on this pretty extensively. Let's do so one last time. I'm going to save it as it is. Let it save. And let's go to modifications. So, cheaper stone roads, more productive animals, more productive orchards, warmer, mild climate. Depends on if you actually use the mild climate. Greater tool and dresses duration. Some of these haven't been updated. You can see the little yellow icon here. That's ones that haven't been updated yet with the newest version. Better mining, better crafting, fog off, which I just, you know, I scaled down the fog a bit so you guys could see. Village healer and herb garden. This here is the smaller healer, and the herb garden allows you to gather herbs, you know, if you have a big city. The master radius mod, this one is great, as well as the adjustable carry weight, better burial. So it just increases the range of pyres, which is pretty good. So you don't need as many peppered throughout your whole city. Faster terraforming, I would honestly maybe take this one out, because yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. Scarecrow with more range. Caravan extended, I can't emphasize the awesomeness of this mod alone. Highly suggested. Castle tower power, this one also very nice. I was really disappointed with the range of the fully upgraded towers, and so this mod allows me to set those radii. Okay, so the square level 2 radius 25, square level 3 35. So yeah, you have overrides there, which are really nice. Okay, adjustable number of visitors and social buildings. This, you know, some of these are just kind of personal preference. More logs in the trees. This one's also allows you to find a setting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10x multipliers on how much wood you get out of a tree. I think I have mine set on 4. Yep, 4 right there. 5, you know, anything more than 4 was just too much, and that you want to balance with more carry capacity. So, you know, they can only carry so much, and if you exceed that, it's going to take multiple trips for a tree, which lowers your efficiency. So just kind of balance the two together. Adjustable storage building capacities. This is for the barn and the warehouse. I've ramped those up. This one's for the bathhouse that I've been building. The bathhouse, I pretty much ramped up, maxed out how much enjoyment they get out of that. Kitchens and cooking, nuts and berries, and dairy are all 3 ones that kind of go together. I didn't really get into this because, you know, they weren't updated at the time, and they were kind of causing some problems. But yeah, lots of extra food that you can make, and the dairy you can actually produce like a yogurt that is really nutritious and good. So yeah, really good. Total disasters. I've toned down the disasters. This one's allowed me to turn off lightning setting fire to buildings. Because as you know, in the first part of the series, it was getting a little much. The mine insurance turned off people dying in mines because that was happening way too often. Like, way too often. 3 or 4 people per season were going down just because of mine accidents. And I'm like, okay, that's a little much. Better happiness. So this one's disabled. This one's disabled. This one and this one are disabled. Just because I've taken care of what I used to do down here, I took care of with other mods. So, you know, you can kind of ignore those. But anyway, that's my mods. That is the series. I thank everybody for watching, all of your comments, all of your likes and everything. So that'll do it for this episode and the series. Look for something new tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.